I think it's got to be like your moleskin notebook or your Ray-Ban sunglasses, something like that.
Something like that. You're right. Say, for instance.
Oh, jeez.
Ah, damn it.
Welcome to Archispeak, a fortnightly podcast about all things architecture. My name is Evan Troxel, and I'm one of your hosts along with Neil Pan and Cormac Phelan. Have you ever wondered what it's like to work in the profession of architecture? Have you ever worked with an architect? Have you ever wanted to be an architect? Maybe you're in school and don't know what you're getting yourself into, or perhaps you know exactly what it's like because you've been working in the profession for a long time, and you know that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Or maybe, just maybe, you're planning on changing the world. Join us as we have a casual conversation about our passion, architecture. It's time for some Archispeak.
Welcome to episode 96 of the Archispeak podcast. I'm Neil Pan.
I'm Evan Troxel.
And I'm Cormac Phelan.
And this episode of Archispeak is sponsored by Arcat. Check out all the features they offer at arcat.com. And next up, we have some friends of the show to announce.
We have 3 brand new friends of the show this episode. The first is Holton Jones, and Holton is in Lafayette, Louisiana, and he is a 23-year-old student of architecture, and he goes to ULL, University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and we appreciate you becoming a friend of the show, and it sounds like he is all the way through the episode. That's awesome. We appreciate the note, and we are super excited to have you as a listener. Next up, we have another new friend of the show, who is Brendan Bowen, who is in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. And so let's see, episode number 21 has a way to go, but he is a recent grad. Podcast is one of his most valuable resources. You know, I've actually heard that from somebody else, so that's very cool to hear. We really appreciate it. So you've got a lot of work to do there listening to more podcasts, Brendan, but we wish you the best, and thanks again for becoming a supporter of the show and a friend of the show. Our final friend of the show for this episode is Douglas Peterson Hui. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, and he is up in Ontario, Canada. He is building a tiny house on the opposite side of Canada, Vancouver Island, which is super cool. I just visited his website, which is islandlifetinyhomes.com. Very inspiring. I'm totally jealous. So thanks, Douglas, for becoming a friend of the show. We really appreciate it. A third-year student in studying architectural science. So that's awesome. We love hearing about what everybody's up to. And if anybody else wants to become a friend of the show, drop us a note and help support the show. We are partially listener supported, so we appreciate any donation that helps make this show possible. You can do that at archispeakpodcast.com/donate. Any donation over $5, you can choose to have your name read on the air. And if you leave us a nice note, we love hearing about it. So head on over there to archispeakpodcast.com/donate and become a friend of the show.
Now, I'm not sure, but I may be reading this wrong, but I think Doug was inviting us to go to Vancouver Island to
I was
check
thinking,
out his... I could be wrong.
That could be a cool retreat. Yeah, for sure.
We're on our way, Doug.
So he's designing a tiny home, and it looks like I see a picture on the site here of a one on wheels, which is how most tiny homes that I've seen are, because building codes, right? So very cool. I'm designing a trailer too, but not a home, but more of a trailer. But we should chat sometime and swap ideas. Very cool stuff. So he's got a team up there. There's a bunch of people on their website. So very cool. All right, so this episode, we wanted to do something a little bit different, a little summary. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we get to that, let's talk briefly about our AIA chat that we hosted recently.
Forgot about that. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. The AIA National invited us to host their monthly Twitter chat, and we worked back and forth with them to establish a topic, which we decided on licensure, and asked a bunch of questions on it, and it was like drinking from a fire hose, but a lot of fun.
It was. Neil, you have to tell the story about the behind the scenes, what was going on with you.
Okay, well, all right.
Because
so,
it didn't never come across in the chat. I mean, obviously, so
No.
we didn't have time. But you should give the behind the scenes,
Okay, so-
play by play.
behind the scenes. So briefly, it was basically less than 10 minutes before the chat was to start. I had reserved a conference room in the office I work at, and I go downstairs to the conference room, and this giant 12-foot long table is completely full with product samples, and there's like half a dozen people in this room, and they're having a meeting right when I had scheduled the room. So there was no way I was getting that room. There's 2 other conference rooms in the office. I went to both. They were both occupied. We have another office space that's used as a kind of a temporary conference space, and that was occupied. And essentially, within about 2 or 3 minutes of this whole AIA chat starting, I had nowhere to go. So
It's a good thing you're a runner, Neil.
yes, so I ended up having to run back upstairs and going back downstairs out to my car, in which I
Why
promptly
did you have
left.
to go back upstairs, Neil?
Because I'm not really
You
sure.
forgot your keys.
Well, that was after I left the building, and then to go to my car and realizing that I had left my keys upstairs. So I couldn't get back in the back door because that is a key fob only entrance, and my keys, of course, were inside the building. So I had to run all the way around the building, back through the front door, back upstairs to my keys, then back out to my car, all the while the AIA was calling me because we were on the phone with the AIA during the whole Twitter chat, so we could work back and forth. And so essentially, I made it to my car with about a minute to spare, turned on the air conditioning, sat in the passenger seat with my iPad on my lap, with my phone next to it, with a conference call with Evan and the AIA National, all the while doing the Twitter chat.
That was awesome. And the funny thing was, like, right, what could go wrong did go wrong, first of all. And then
yes.
the other thing is, what's kind of eye-opening, I think, about the whole thing is just how much goes into the logistics behind this whole AIA chat.
Yes.
So this phone call's going on. It's a party line. There's lots of people talking back and forth, coming up with getting the timing right and who's saying what, and we're talking about engagement and all the internet buzzwords. And meanwhile, you're just trying to pay attention to what people are saying and
Right.
engage with them. So there's a lot going on. And so I'm glad that there was more than one person participating, because I can't imagine. And I know some people do it on their own, and that's got to be a huge amount of work. Or, a lot of stuff just falls through the cracks because you can't possibly keep up with it all. Like you said, it is like drinking from a fire hose. There's just tons of people answering each question, and then they start talking with each other, and conversation shoots down different rabbit holes off to the sides and pulls back together, and it's all over the place. But we will put a link to the Storify story that AIA put together, which kind of chronologically puts the whole thing into order and everybody who participated and all the questions and answers. And it's a really cool resource online where you can put together all these different posts from different social media channels into one place and kind of chronologically tell a story as it happened and as it unfolded. So it's pretty neat, and they put that together, and I think they came out with it early this week. So it's definitely something worth checking out if you missed the AIA chat or if you needed to go back and reference it, because it did kind of fly by. That hour went by fast.
It did go by fast. What I'm most amazed at is that we were able to pull this off essentially from the passenger seat of my car, from a cellular connection, from an iPad and my iPhone all at the same time. Pretty amazing, the technology that we have to be able to do something like this. It was pretty outstanding.
Yeah,
So.
very cool. And so, yeah, thanks to AIA again for inviting us to be a part of that. And it seemed to be really well received, and we would obviously love to do it again. So if you're listening to this show and you participated, give a shout out on Twitter. Use the hashtag AIA chat. The nice thing about hashtags is they don't expire. They just keep on going, and they'll use it again next month for another topic. But until then, anything that happens with the hashtag AIA chat will still fall under kind of that conversation that we've already had going on, and it doesn't have to end when the AIA chat is ending at once it goes through that hour. People kind of continue, and they have tweets have continued to kind of trickle through regarding that topic. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it was great. And thanks again to the AI. It was a blast doing it, and even though we had a little technical difficulties getting it started, we still got it started on time, and it was a lot of fun to actually do and participate in. So,
and we did have
everyone.
some listeners who thankfully gave us some crap for starting 1 or 2 minutes late. That was really nice.
Yes.
You know who you are.
And all the while you guys were herding cats, I was in a pre-submission meeting for a pedestrian
We're about to go
bridge.
into submission.
Yeah, well, actually, surprisingly enough, it went great.
Good.
Sat down. Apparently, the bridge that I'm designing conforms to St. Louis County Department of Transportation standards, so I'm halfway there.
Nice. Congratulations. That's been a bear of a project, I know.
It has. Now, if I can only cut a little over $1 million off of it, we'll be good.
Nice.
Oh, maybe we can raise some donations for it.
Less rebar.
Yes. Yeah, less rebar. Less steel. Let's make it lighter.
Yeah, lighten it up.
Why does it bend?
Right. But will it bend? All right, so for this episode, we wanted to do something a little bit more fun and lightweight, continuing on our theme of summer vacations and all the fun stuff that's been going on, and talk about our favorite tools. And so when I threw this topic idea out, there is definitely not any kind of architectural bent to this. So if that happens, it just happens because that's the way we think. And if it doesn't happen, it's because they're really our favorite tools that don't have anything to do with architecture. So it was open to interpretation. It does not have to be in any specific line of work or particular use, or I don't know another way to say it. Doesn't have to be anything in particular. So I guess I'm going first here with my tool number one. Yeah, gots to go first. So my first and most favorite tool that I've used over the last few years, this is something that has always interested me, and I guess about 4 years ago, since my anniversary just happened here, right before I got married.
Is it Neil? You said 4 years ago.
My favorite tool is the Neil tool. Yeah, so it's my Olympus OMD EM5, which is my camera, and it's
nice.
It's a great little camera. It's a mirrorless. It's a Micro Four Thirds mirrorless camera, and so it's lighter weight than a DSLR, but the quality is arguably, it's really nice. So the photos that I shoot, my nice photos, I take with this. I capture with this camera, and there's been a few models since then. The newest one is the Mark II, which a friend of mine has, which I have kind of gear envy for right now because it does some other cool stuff. But the Olympus camera, I've always loved kind of the image quality that Olympuses have. You've seen it, Cormac, when you came out to visit, and I took it to the AIA convention, and I love shooting with this camera because it works really well in low light. And if you head over to my website, you can see some of my photos because I would love to always be working on my photography. I wish I had more time. But if you head over to my website, we'll put a link to that. You can see some of the photos on there. Some of those are from my iPhone too, but I love this camera. I love the image quality. I love what you can do with the photos that I capture in here. And probably the coolest thing that I do with this is one of the most meaningful projects that I do every year is end of the year slideshow. And it's not something that is for public consumption. It's just for personal consumption within our household here. It's just kind of something that we do that's a standard thing, tradition that we do every year. And on the first of the year, we always watch our year of pictures. And so this is a cool thing that we started 4 or 5 years ago now, probably before I got this camera, actually. But it definitely becomes one of those traditions that the kids love. And my wife and I kind of have this catalog now of 5 years worth of photos that are in video form. And so I do the music and the slides, and I mean, it's getting out of control. Last year it was like an hour long. So it's getting epic. And it's a ton of work. Holy crap, it's a ton of work. But it's really cool way to kind of go back through the years and watch, like we'll watch every slideshow each year now, which is pretty fun to do. So we're totally watching the kids grow up again every year, and all the different adventures that we do. So like this year, there's going to be tons of Lake Powell photos in there, and usually there's, every one of our big road trips gets in there, and it's so fun. And it's like I said, it's probably the most meaningful thing that I do. It's outside of architecture for sure, and it's totally personal. So that's my first tool. Very cool stuff.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Neil, what you got?
I got a camera as well, but this one does a little bit more than just take photos. One of my favorite tools, since you didn't give me any sort of limits on what I could choose.
Oh, hell, it's his iPhone.
That's right. Good call. When you first suggested this, Evan, there were a few things that came to mind right off the top of my head, and so I just stuck with those 3 items.
There you go.
And the very first one was my iPhone. I thought, what is the tool that I use morning, noon, night, and to do my business off of?
And 300 times throughout the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, this thing is one of the most used devices that I have, right? I mean, we use it to communicate, to talk about show topics, right? We message each other back and forth. I run my business off of it. It can communicate.
You run with it?
I run with it. Yeah, it tracks all my runs. It's just the most useful, versatile tool that I have. It's completely replaced my point and shoot camera because I'm not a super photographer like you are, and I'm totally jealous. But
you still do some pretty damn good photos with it.
Yeah,
and it's actually a good camera too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's become a great camera, actually. I think it's probably better than some of the first point and shoots I ever had, but it's just such a versatile tool, and it's a phone, right? I mean, you can talk to people, but I think for me, it's mostly messaging and staying in touch with people and running my business. Like earlier today, I needed to reference some drawings, actually, from a former project of mine, and I could just do that right off my phone. And so I could reference it, type out the message right on the phone, and send it, and I'm just done. I mean, so for me, it's a very useful tool that I can do so many different things with. So to me, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, that one's kind of like the no crap. These things are amazing. You're living in the future. You can do anything with them. And I think that it was definitely a consideration for my list. It didn't make my list because it was too obvious. I mean, I knew one of you guys was going to pick it. So I actually knew Neil was going to pick it. So
yeah.
So it didn't make my list, but I can't disagree with anything that you said, and it is kind of like one of those things that it's like, how do you live without one nowadays?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you're right, Neil. It's replaced my point and shoot Canon, and love it. Takes great photos, but I always walk around with it in my hand and my phone in my hand, and I always wonder, why do I have 2 cameras? I just use the iPhone. Now, it's got its limitations, but for the most part, even the 6S has got a really damn good camera.
Yeah, it does.
And I've almost exclusively stopped taking photographs on anything but it.
I force myself to take pictures with the Olympus because I feel like it makes me a better photographer. Yeah. And obviously having interchangeable lenses is a bonus a lot of the time. But it's just one of those things where I want to make it an art. And I do that with my iPhone all the time. But there's just something about swapping out the tool and working with a different set of constraints. What I love about the iPhone, especially as a camera, is like just all the other uses of it besides taking pictures of my surroundings. Like you use it to scan receipts. You use it to take pictures of serial numbers. You use it to do all kinds of weird stuff that we never would have thought of 10 years ago before it came out.
And I also use it in the office. It's replaced my calculator.
It's so many things, yeah.
It also replaced my old architectural calculator that I still have, actually, that does feet and inches and all of that. I have an app now that basically does that function. I have another app that I can use. I just used actually a couple of weeks ago when I was on a job site and I needed to figure out the pitch of a roof. And so I just stepped outside, used a pitch, I forget what the app's called, pitch factor or something. And literally just you look through the lens of the camera and then you just tilt the phone to what the roof is and it tells you what the pitch is.
That's ridiculous.
It should be.
This
It should be
awesome.
It should so be called pitch slap.
No, it's called pitch factor. So if anybody's looking for it, I don't recall if I had to pay 99 cents for it or something, but it's like, what a great tool to have available. And I use it to take site photos, and it's such an indispensable tool. It's the modern day computer in your pocket, essentially.
All right, obvious. Okay, move on next, Cormac.
Oh, so it's mine.
Yes.
I kind of struggled with these. I mean, tools. Hell, it could be anything, right?
It could be anything. Yeah.
I mean, I'm about to spend the weekend using some tools to do a brake job and everything else, and I was like, I use tools like that all the time.
But
no,
favorite.
I'm not good. But what's my favorite? Yep. And so I started to really rack my brain on some of this stuff, and I started thinking about what are the tools that have not only stuck with me and have been kind of tried and true. These have been things that have, in a way, saved my life. You know, you always talk about that tool. Oh, this tool is a lifesaver. Some of them actually have. The first one, it's kind of a combo, sort of redundant because they're more or less one of the same thing. But much like the iPhone, trying to find that Swiss Army kind of tool, well, I'm using the Swiss Army knife.
Oh, I was right.
Swiss Army, but not just... But not just the Swiss Army knife.
Uh-oh.
What I also carried with it, which it really I struggled between these two. I'm like, okay, which one do I like? I was like, no, I've got to. There's stories behind both of these tools, and it's a combo tool for a number one, not number one and number two, and the other one is the Leatherman Wave.
I was wondering about the Leatherman angle because that's one of my favorites. It's not on my list today, but
so the Leatherman, we used to call it the Patriot tool because we were, Patriot missile, and almost everybody had one. One of the reasons why this is actually the number one tool is we were putting out some concertina wire. This was during Desert Storm, and we were setting up our position and got to protect it. So we've got bunkers, and you'll hear about that a little bit later, and for safety measures. And one of them is to put up concertina wire. Well, me trying to rush it, I don't like wearing the proper gear, and concertina wire has a special pair of gloves that you have to wear to kind of use it. And I used gloves, but I used the wrong kind of gloves. So got my hand kind of caught in between some of it. The razors weren't quite cutting the skin yet, but they were poking through. It was all knotted up. And I was just trying to yank it and pull it to kind of get it unknotted, and it snapped back and then wrapped around my arm. The Leatherman pulled it out of my pocket, started basically cutting myself free with the wire cutter tools and pulling it apart. I still have a scar, which everybody actually asks me because it's a scar across my wrist. And it was literally like seconds away from slicing my own wrist out of stupidity of getting my hand kind of caught in concertina wire. And so basically I used that tool to cut myself free so I didn't kill myself with stupidity. And so that same tool I've carried around, and I use it, been there for me. And so I'm going more tool on this one, and that one's that kind of lifesaver.
There's so many different models too. I've always, it's one of those things that there's like a few of them in my Amazon wish list because like once you've got one, you've got a small one, you need a big one, you need a medium sized one, you need one with scissors, you need one with pliers on it, like all these different things. So a very cool tool. I've got 2 or 3 of them myself.
They're not that expensive either.
No, actually they're really cheap.
Yeah. I like that Skeletool version. It's like the lightweight, really slimmed down version. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
all right.
A great choice.
That's an awesome one. Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a minute here and do our sponsor break. And you guys have heard of Arcat. You heard them at the beginning, and they are
continued sponsor of this show, and we really appreciate them. We're all busy. Sometimes we feel like we could use another hand to help out, and somebody who does CAD details for you, creates BIM objects for you, writes specs for you, and all for free, that's Arcat. They're our Arcat. We use them all the time. They're an awesome tool. They are Archispeak podcast favorite tool, that's for sure. So they've done all this work. You can search the Arcat libraries for CAD, BIM, specs, documents, catalogs, videos, everything. All this content is created for you, free of charge, no registration required. Stop registering on sites for content. Just come to Arcat and find what you need. Arcat has created a website devoted to you, the building professional, to find building product information fast and hassle-free. Check out Arcat today at arcat.com, and on the side of each site, you can provide feedback. What do you want Arcat to do? You have a voice on their website, and they are listening. I encourage you guys to go to the site and tell them if there's something that they are not doing that you want Arcat to be able to do, just tell them, and Bill over there at Arcat is listening. There is a button on the right side of every page. Just make your suggestions, and you can help make it better. So thanks, Arcat, for sponsoring this episode of Archispeak. That's arcat.com. Check them out today. And let's jump back into our favorite tools. All right, I'm going to jump in here with number 2. I feel a little bad about this because like all mine have to do with wires and batteries and crap and technology, but I'm going to go with the iPad Pro with pencil because Cormac, with your last one...
Damn it, you stole that from Neil. That was his second one.
I know. That's why I've got to do it first here. But you were
not
tugging at my heartstrings with your real world like real tool, because I love that stuff too. But this is one of those game changers. I mean, this is one of those things that if you haven't tried it, I mean, you've got to try it. If you have tried it, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's like the ability to sketch and use apps like Morpholio Trace or Archisketch, or there's a bunch of different, there's Procreate, there's Adobe Sketches. Apple Notes app with the pencil is just amazing. Evernote with the handwriting recognition, Notability, like all these things take advantage of the pencil, and it's just freaking awesome. So there's so many things I could say about it. There's a lot that I won't say about it just because you just got to try it out. And now that they've got the iPad Pro with the 9.7 inch, it's a little bit easier to carry. I haven't tried that one myself. I have the larger one, but it's freaking awesome. It, for the most part, is a laptop replacement, unless you want to do real architecture. It's kind of like the iPhone. It just takes the place of so many things that your computer does or used to do now that you're using an iPad Pro. It's one of those amazing things. And the pencil itself, I mean, this is really the game changer part of it. It's not just that I'm talking about iPads. It's like, I mean, you guys have used it. You know what I'm talking about. It's the fidelity, the way that the screen interacts with it. It's unbelievably good. And so it's one of those things where it's like, once you start using it, I use the pencil for navigation on the iPad. I use it for a lot of drawing. I do a lot of handwritten notes on the iPad with it. And, having the keyboard's nice, but the pencil by far is the killer part of this setup. And so highly recommended. It's awesome. I use it every single day. The apps are getting better and better and better. New things available that we never thought of. So I had to pick that one because it's just so useful in an architect's daily life that I highly recommend it.
And you can use Neil's favorite app, Pitch Please.
I thought it was Pitch Slap.
I thought of a new one.
Evan, I have to second you on this one only because.
Oh, you can't use it.
Oh, no. I'm not going to use it. I'm just agreeing with you because one of the challenges I had since I got the very first iPad was trying to write on it. Now, there's been styluses that have worked for writing, and I've had several, but the way I write kind of sideways. I'm left-handed, and I write sideways, and I drag the palm of my hand across the page when I write, and I have not ever found any app or stylus that will work right. Most of the writing apps always had an area towards the bottom of the page that they would ignore, and some of them had it a little bit on the sides, but nothing ever worked. I tried about 6 different apps one time, and I bought like 4 or 5, some of which are now free, but I bought them, and just none of them worked right. And so I gave up. And for 5 years, I never tried to write on an iPad again until I got the iPad Pro with the pencil. And now with that, every meeting I go to in the office, I take the iPad and I handwrite all my notes. And when I'm done, I export it, throw it up on the server. Boom, there it is. All of my notes are handwritten. There's so many people in the office that they handwrite their notes. They never scan them. There's no record of anything.
Yeah, they're gone forever.
What? They're gone forever. And it's like, no, with the iPad Pro and the pencil, I can handwrite finally on my iPad. And I use it for so many things. I'm working on 3 different projects with a team of people, and we're on a very tight deadline. And I'm literally using a calendar, just a PDF of a calendar of the next 3 months. And I'm handwriting on the calendar our schedule. And I'm updating it as we go. And then I just print it out and I keep it posted for all of us to see and to follow. And it's so much better than trying to either manually write on a calendar because you're having to erase it, or trying to do some other sort of electronic calendaring. It's like, no, this was just something so simple, and I can mark it up and use, in fact, I'm using Notability. So I'm changing pen colors for different tasks or different people. And it's just, I couldn't do any of this before the pencil. So I think you're right.
You could. It was just hard, right?
Yeah. I could. Yeah, you could. But it was just difficult for me with the way I write. I mean, other people have had no problems with using other styluses, but it was just very difficult for me. And so much so that it wasn't worth the time and effort.
Yeah, one of the things that I like about it when I was putzing around with yours at the AIA convention was the palm rejection or whatever that it's called. That
it just doesn't exist, right? Like you don't have to worry about it.
Nope.
You know, when I've used the older iPads with just a standard stylus, I'm drawing, and as I'm drawing, and same problem, Neil, with the left-handed plague, that, you
That's
know,
what it looks like when you guys are drawing too. It looks like you've got a disease.
It just drags across. No, I don't write like a normal left-handed person.
No, you don't.
I don't either, actually.
That weird little crooked over thing.
Yeah, I don't do that
It's
either.
because I honestly have no idea. I look at other left-handed people and I'm like, how the hell can you write like that? I turn my paper sideways.
So do I.
So
I do the same.
And then I just write straight. The only thing that really sucks about anything is spiral binding, which is,
I can't write in a spiral bound notebook.
It's a weird sort of kind of right-handed torture to left-handed people. But
put that spiral on the wrong side. Get it on the other side of the paper.
But the one thing that that's normally what I do.
Very insensitive of me. Yeah, sorry.
Exactly. I kind of write backwards in right to left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I use. Instead of using like normal line paper, I'll use graph paper and I'll write that way.
Wow.
It's weird. Yeah. I just love the fact that the palm rejection, and when you're drawing and everything else, it's not like dragging your hand through it, and it's not making other marks on there. And whenever can grow up and buy myself one of those things, then I'd like to use it too, because I think that one of the things that also sucks about, you know, being left-handed and drawing the way I do is that if I'm drawing with pencil, you know, of course, when I lift my hand up, I've got, you know, from the tip of my pinky to the, you know, bottom of my palm is completely covered in graphite.
Yep.
So.
Yep. That's the one thing computer drafting has been good for. I have less lead poisoning on the side of my hand.
All right. So even
I think
after that glowing review, Neil.
Yes.
Go for it. Your number 2. What
My
you got?
number 2. Okay. Well, it runs on batteries as well, but it is a real tool. Cormac, you'll be proud of me. So my second pick is the Bosch DLR130 laser measuring tool.
Oh,
yes.
Guys, you are so architectural, you two.
Well, for a long time, when I had to go measure a place, for 7 years I was on my own, and I did a lot of remodels, and so you have to measure them. And I also did some consulting for an interior designer, and so I'd go out and measure rooms and do simple little drawings for her firm. And so, somebody told me about one of these, and I checked it out, and I'm like, wow, they're not that expensive. And this particular DLR 130 from Bosch that I have is very low tech. Some of the newer models or fancier ones now have Bluetooth and will sync up to your iPad or an app on the iPad and actually enter the dimensions. And so I don't have anything that cool, but this just increased the speed and the accuracy of measuring existing houses or existing buildings just tenfold. It was so amazing. Before I started using one, it was always difficult to get dimensions to close, and because when you're measuring an existing building, nothing ever is perfect. Once I got this, I could snap dimensions 3 and 4 rooms across down a hallway, and it made my life so much easier. So,
and it's accurate within a 16th of an inch. We just got one of these at the office too.
16th, I think it's like 256. I mean, it's like crazy it's accurate.
Awesome. And then you can like add lengths together if you can't shoot the whole thing in one go, and you can measure angles and all kinds of stuff that I never thought that these things could do. They'll do area, they'll do volume. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and those functions I don't even use. I just give me a straight line, and I just think it's such a great tool for architects or anyone who needs to measure spaces to be accurate. It's just a great tool. So this is my second choice. It really has been an invaluable tool as an architect.
That's very cool. Yep, that's a good pick right there.
Wow.
All right, Cormac.
Cormac is so stunned.
Number 2.
Okay, here comes the second choice from the Luddite. All right. So, my second choice requires no batteries nor anything else. It's something that is used to hang on my dog tags, and now it hangs on my keychain right next to my dog tag. Apparently, when you said tools, I started to get incredibly nostalgic and started thinking about a tool that, 1, I still carry, 2, still use, can't imagine myself without it, literally every single day.
Thank you for keeping us grounded, Cormac. I appreciate this.
It is the P38 or P51. Mine just happens to be the P51.
Which one do you prefer? The 51?
The 51.
Okay.
Now, we'll have a photo in our show notes. I just shot one off to the guys. And what is it? It is a can opener.
Okay.
That's what it is.
P51. You had me going there for a minute.
It is a P51 military issued can opener. It's a small. It is about the size of half your finger, the P51, and you swing the little thing open. There's a little blade, and it's got a little hook that hooks on the lip of a can, and you open it up. It also, because of the way that it's built, can act as a screwdriver, which I've used it as many, many times. It can, the little blade that sticks out, most commonly used as a fingernail cleaner.
Thank you for that. Too much information.
Hey, it is. But I'll tell you what. This is, again, I must have been feeling very nostalgic, because when we go camping, that's why I still carry it to this day, because every time we get there, everybody brings all their canned goods, and they're like, hey, does somebody have a can opener? I just grab my keys, got the can opener. Blows everybody's mind, because they're like, what the hell is that? They look at it, it's just a little piece of metal looks like a little shark's tooth.
Yeah.
That,
I'm looking on Amazon. You can get a 4-pack for $6.31.
I mean, literally, it's just a can opener for your hand.
Right.
But again, it's a multi-tool as well. You can use it as a screwdriver. You can use it as a pry. You can use it as all sorts of things. And it's surprisingly strong for a teeny little piece of metal. And it's so weird and so uncommon that people have those. But we used them to open up food when we were in the desert. I still use it today when I'm camping. I would say it's equally as much of a lifesaver when you're hungry as the Leatherman was to try to get my hand out of a bunch of barbed wire.
So if the Leatherman has a can opener, which can opener do you use? Because you're carrying both of these, it sounds like.
I'm going to post a picture of the P51 and the P38 in the show notes, but I'm also going to provide a link. It's a YouTube video of a guy who's just like showing you how to use it, and it's just quick and easy, and you just look at it and you're like, wow, that's a great no-brainer.
Nice.
And it's just, and that's usually the one that I go to. Just the simple design of that P51 makes it so much easier to use it as a can opener than even the Leatherman.
I can't believe you have that many cans to open, but I guess I have to.
Hey, if you're carrying food in a pack to go hiking, or you're out in the middle of the desert and all you got is a can of peaches and they forgot to open it up for you or anything else when they drop off your food.
Yep.
Got to do something.
All right. It's a very cool tool. It's one of those timeless designs kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's either that or use your bayonet. And I've had to do that a few times too.
Jeez. All right, so that is it for round 2. Last round, okay? Round 3. Let's jump through these. So the last one that I've got is, again, kind of something with electronics in it. But this is one of the coolest things that I have messed with in a long time. And so I had to include it on the list because it was just, this thing has blown me away over the last few weeks that I've been using it. And it is the Vive VR headset that is a collaboration between Steam and HTC. A lot of people call it the HTC Vive, and I'm doing a friend of mine proud here because he continuously, he's my comrade at work here who we've been doing this together with, and he points out to everybody, HTC just makes the hardware. They just got lucky. They got to put their brand on it. But really, it's the software that powers this thing that makes it so freaking amazing and fun to use. I've had the pleasure of putting clients and coworkers and family into this headset. And you guys, we all got to play with it when we were at the AIA convention and kind of get our first taste of this thing. So now they're readily available. You can literally order these and have them in the same week. You can throw Revit models in. You can throw SketchUp models in. You can throw in OBJ files from your favorite 3D modeling program. And it just works. There's free software out there right now that just translate that file and puts you in it, and you are walking through your designs. And it is freaking amazing to be inside your design and use it as a design tool to say, what is it like to be in this space? What's the scale feel like? What's the daylighting feel like? You can actually adjust the time of day and see what the shade and shadow's doing. You can sit on a piece of furniture if you have a chair in the room with you, and you can feel what it would be like to sit in a classroom you've designed. Everything is right there, and it feels like you can just reach out and touch it. And I've never seen it, well, I have seen it before, but the best examples of watching people who are in their 60s turn into little kids right in front of your eyes. This is one of those tools that just lights people up, super excited. And a lot of people don't want to try it because they feel like they're going to get motion sick or they're really sensitive to that kind of thing. And I have to say that I've been really blown away with people who are incredibly motion sensitive not have any problems with this thing. So that's a huge plus because they are able to get the frame rate so fast and it's so like realistic once you're in it as far as the motion goes that people just feel like they're there and they don't have to worry about motion sick in it. So super cool. And then there's just all these other apps. There's this whole new world opening up with the Google Tilt Brush. There's like a Star Wars Tatooine adventure. There's you can walk on a ridge across Everest. There's this new video game that came out where you're like on Everest and holy crap, it's like the coolest thing that you can experience. And you take these things off and you forget that you weren't actually there. You forget that you're in some room in your office or in your house. And it's like you got to come back to reality all of a sudden out of the virtual reality. And so it's not only is it just like this amazing, cool tech, but it is incredibly useful as a design tool for architects. I mean, there's tons of companies out there scrambling to figure out how to make these things useful for people. And they're doing it. They're actually delivering. And right now there's so much like venture capital money being thrown at these things for people kind of positioning themselves to become the next big thing. It's just a playground right now that doesn't cost hardly anything. I mean, the Vive itself is $800. You need about a $2,500 gaming computer to run it really well on. So for that much money, you're in it. And that's it. Like the software right now is free. It won't be forever, but for right now it is. And so like it's just amazing thing. Really been blown away by it, so I had to throw it on the list. Super high tech. The opposite of the P51 can opener.
Yeah.
You cannot open cans with it.
You could.
Virtually. Virtually you could.
Virtual cans, yes.
Virtual kits, yeah.
It is incredible. It's so fun to get in there. I mean, I can't wait to put my kids in that. I think they're just going to have a blast. I mean, and it's not just like it's a thing for kids. I just mean because I have this incredible artist in one of my kids, and I cannot wait to get him in there and actually use it. I can't wait
to see the Godzilla picture.
I know, there's going to be giant Godzilla with plasma breath coming. I mean, it's going to be epic.
Yeah. And he's going to animate it, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, the huge advantage to me that the Vive has over the Oculus Rift, which is kind of the other really popular one, is that you actually have a space that you physically get to walk around in that is represented then virtually inside the goggles. So with your own feet, you're walking around a space, and so you can use the hand controllers to kind of teleport longer distances. But if you just want to move around, you use your body, and you're not using a gaming controller. So like if you're sitting at your desk and you're developing architectural projects, the Rift could be like a super cool way in tight spaces to actually experience space. But the Vive gets you up out of your chair. You're walking around. You are looking like I walk up to a guardrail and look over, and you feel it in your stomach that you are there. And your body says, don't step over. And it's amazing. I mean, because the fidelity of the image is not photorealistic, but it's enough to be really convincing. And so it's one of those things where, don't mock it till you try it. You got to try it. But like I said, we put 60-year-old plus people in this thing, and we put really young kids in this thing, and everybody gets it. And if you YouTube it, I'll put a link in the show notes, but there's a video, I'm going to look it up right now, but it's like the elderly react to HTC's Vive. It is so funny. These people are awesome. They're so excited to try it out, and it's just one of those things where it shows you the potential. If they get it, like this is a real thing. This is not a flash in the pan for this year. This is the year for VR, and this is one of those things that's made me a believer in that. It's really funny and really useful.
Getting closer to my dreams of that Minority Report type computer.
I know.
I'm excited. I mean, when we saw it at the AIA convention, sure, they're just scratching the surface. But I mean, God,
it's going so fast. It's just amazing. Yeah,
and it's going to go like wildfire. And we keep saying, 10 years from now, it's going to 5 years, 2 years.
Next generation is going to be amazing. I mean, and I have to give a shout out to the people over at Iris VR, George and Shane, and they are doing. I talked to them on the phone the other day, and they're doing some amazing stuff, and they're just open to hearing everybody's thoughts, reactions. What are you going to do in this situation? There's all kinds of things that nobody had to think about that now they are. And Iris, if you head over to Iris VR's website, you can download their software. You can drop your SketchUp model on it, and boom, you're inside your model. It's super cool. So highly recommended. Super cool stuff.
I don't know how to follow on that one.
There's no. I mean, it's just one of those things where you've already got your pick. You just say it now.
I wanted to just throw in my 2 cents there. I didn't get to try the full Vive experience that you guys had. I had to use the controller because there were other people using the other devices.
Evan,
what?
No.
I was hogging it.
He was hogging it.
Well, maybe so, but not when I was there. But anyway, it was an amazing experience, and I have tried Oculus as well, and there is something there when it comes to this current generation of VR and where it'll go in the next 2 or 3 years is going to become an integral part, I think, of bringing this back to a little bit of architecture reality here. It's going to be something that every firm's going to be investing in and showing off. I think the challenge will be, how do we expand this to show to planning commissions and review boards so that they can experience these spaces in ways that can help you get your building approved, right?
It just gets your gears turning. There are so many applications for this. I mean, you start thinking about CA, pre-CA. You start thinking about having a contractor walk through your project to show them design intent. There's so many ways that this applies to what we do, besides just play video games.
Yeah, but this is the next step into getting the model actually used in construction rather than the 2D prints.
Model-based delivery,
Yeah, because now you're going to start to say, well, first of all, now you actually have something to be able to view it and, move around in it and kind of see just the simple things of what a VR can do. Trying to see clash detection and things like, you're like walking, oh, that ductwork shouldn't be there because it's 2 feet too low.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And those are the things that I see are going to be kind of like the practical uses that are going to be like some of the things that we really sell. And so you're sold on it because that's what one of the things that you kind of help create within your firm. Mm-hmm. Is the vision of the building, and so you don't really need that much convincing, but either the higher ups or
I'm an early adopter too, so it is easier to convince me.
Exactly, but I mean, so when you've got like the little curmudgeon PMs or other principals that've been around for a while and don't see the value of it, when you start to show them it as a productivity tool, that's when they start to see the value of it. And then they're like, oh, we need to be, let's get them for everybody. And, maybe it doesn't go to that extreme. Then they start to see the value. Then they start to adopt. And then it starts to become something a little bit more mainstream within firms.
Yeah.
And once other people start to adopt them and see it, then it starts the daisy chain down the rest of the profession.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that, because of some very key people and us working together in our company, we have not waited to react to this. We've jumped on it. We had some early opportunities here to do some really cool stuff, and just gauging everybody's interest, whoever walks by and wants to experience this, and then it's just like it's spreading like wildfire. It's been incredibly positive. It's one of those things where it's just taking off within our office, and it's not going to be long until we want to get more of them in the office and outfit all of our offices with these, because it's in the big picture, these are not unaffordable things. They are very easy to obtain. They do not cost a lot of money, so it's pretty cool, and it's almost dead simple to use, which makes it very easy to actually make a small commitment to get into these things and use them. And you can find all kinds of actual practical uses within your day-to-day duties that you've got to do. You've got to sell stuff to clients. You've got to explore your designs. You want to make sure you're not hitting on clash detection problems. There's all kinds of real-world uses for these every single day. Yeah. It's really cool. So that's my number 3. I'll shut up now.
Oh, that's another great pick. But so how do I follow that one? Well, when I was trying to figure out, what was going to be my third item, I tried to base this on what are the things that is most useful to me and that I use virtually every day. And one of the tools that I use is, this one's not even something you can touch, but it's something that I use all the time, and we use it to help in the production of this show, and that's Dropbox. The Dropbox service.
I thought you were going to go for Rogaine.
Hey, I have a full head of hair, man. I don't need that. I don't know about you, but you talk about your own personal problems here. But getting back to to Dropbox here, Dropbox is such a useful tool for me, especially when I was on my own and had my own practice, and even without having my own practice, it's one of the tools we use in our production of this show. We upload our audio files to that. We upload any graphics we're using, our business communication, or not necessarily communication, but files, all go through Dropbox because we're all in 3 different locations. None of us has to have a server that's local to any one of us, and it's just such a useful tool in that sense. But as a practicing architect, what I enjoyed was that all of the files for my business can be online, essentially. And with that, I can access them from anywhere, from any device. And in addition, that I can also share those files. So it makes it really simple to go ahead and share different files with either consultants. I can just share a folder with them, and they have access to files that are probably all sometimes too large to even bother emailing, or would just take too long. It's like, here's the link to this file. Boom, you can save it. And in addition, like there was a camping trip that we took with my son's school last year. And during the camping trip, a number of the different parents took photos. We actually just shared all those photos using Dropbox, took pictures of their kids with them and vice versa. And we just had a shared Dropbox or folder. We uploaded the photos. We could all access them. So there's other ways to do some of these things. But I think for me, Dropbox has been just that one tool that's done enough of these different things to keep me from, say, trying to use this service or that service or this service or that tool. It's like, nope, this one tool does them all.
Yeah, and I think one thing that kind of keeps everybody using Dropbox, because it does seem like everybody's using it. I mean, there are other cloud-based services out there, OneDrive and Google Drive and Box.net and all the different ones. I mean, it's just ubiquitous. Everybody's got a Dropbox, and that's what makes it the thing to use, right? It's not just that I rely on it, it's that it's so easy to share. And what keeps blowing me away is all of the other integrations that keep showing up with this thing, so that all of my iOS apps just work with Dropbox. I mean, that's always kind of the default cloud service that they work with. They don't even necessarily work with Apple's own iCloud, but they use Dropbox. That's really where the utility of it comes in super handy. You can save stuff to Dropbox on your phone now. You can save stuff to Dropbox from your iPad. You can do it on your computer. You can pull files down from any location. So it's one of those ubiquitous things that it's kind of like the iPhone itself. It's like, how did we do anything without this? And just the ability to be able to roll back files if you accidentally delete something, or if you want to go back 2 versions, they're on there. I mean, it's stuff that people don't even potentially know about exists on Dropbox, but it's right there. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, and totally worth the, essentially, I had, I don't know, maybe 3.5 gigabytes of space for free, but trying to run all of the things that I do and then we do for the show, I ended up just spending the money for it. And I think it's $100 a year, but it's 1 terabyte, and I'm nowhere close to filling that.
Yeah, you just put everything on there, right? I think that's one of the other things that we never really saw coming, was just how we just start saving every file there because of the redundant backup and the safeguards that are built into it. And how easy is it now to move to a new computer when you keep all your documents in the cloud?
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to worry about migrating all that stuff and sorting through it. It just stays right where it was. You don't have to touch it.
Yeah. When you mentioned different apps using it, I know one of the other tools that didn't make my list but is a very useful tool is one called Text Expander. And all of my little expandable snippets are saved on Dropbox, and that synchronizes through Dropbox. And so whichever of my computers I'm using, it's always synchronized. This is so great. I don't know. Yeah. It's just when I was searching for another tool that I use, something that's so useful for me, I had to throw Dropbox in as my third choice.
Well, I'm glad you picked a couple of software picks there, because, I mean, obviously those are some of the tools that are my favorites too, and we use them every day, but they didn't make my list, so I'm glad that you had a couple.
I'm taking care of you, Evan.
Nice. Thanks, Neil.
All right, Cormac, ground us again. Bring us back to some solid Army tools.
You two suck.
You suck too. How about that?
I mean, Jesus Christ. Can you seriously be any more of a bunch of geeks with this whole architecture? Let me have some tools that are practical to the profession and make me look like,
A Luddite?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And I like my Wall Street Journal.
I mean, my favorite tool is technology and things that help us with our daily use. And Cormac's going to come up with some jackass thing to do. I want you guys to try to guess what I'm going to throw out next. See if you're even remotely close.
I have no idea.
It's a multi-tool, again, and it's something interesting. So, say for instance, you're faced with a bayonet attack, because we often are. If we go to
hey, we're architects, of course.
We go out to the construction site. You never know what's going to happen, and and so this has been
I don't know if that's in my architectural toolkit.
No?
Defense for a bayonet attack on the job site.
Oh, well, see, that's the problem is you need it. You need it to be.
I am not a Boy Scout. Okay, so Boy Scout me up here.
All right.
Tell me what I need.
What you need is the trifold entrenching tool. What is an entrenching tool, you ask?
I know exactly
what this is.
That's what you're supposed to ask is, what's an entrenching tool?
What is an entrenching tool, Cormac?
An entrenching tool is a shovel. But it's not just a shovel. It's a tri-folding shovel. Now, so this is... Okay, so I picked, again...
Is this for burying your shit in the ground?
It's a shovel.
Sure. Yeah.
It's multi...
That's a use.
It's everything.
Multifunctional.
Okay. I had one of these too. I think I know where you're going with this as far as the multi-tool aspect.
So
it's got like a saw blade on one edge of the shovel.
It's got a saw blade on one edge. It's sharp on the other edge, so it could be used as a knife.
Like a hatchet.
Or a hatchet. You can basically fold it in a third. And I'm going to put a link to. There's this one. It's almost like I've posted all of these as a survivalist. I'm either worried about or the zombie apocalypse or something.
Oh, you're a ray of sunshine tonight.
Yeah. But these were the things that when Evan threw out their tools, I started thinking about. What are the tools that I've used? I mean, and like I said earlier, I could have gone with all of the tools that I used when I was working, when I used to rebuild old little British cars and stuff like that. And those would have been great, but those were tools that I used in my past. And these are tools that I've not only used in my past, but these are things that have stuck with me throughout my entire life and things that I still use today. When I go to Neil, when you went camping with all of your yuppie parents and stuff like that, you were pulling out your cameras and taking pictures and uploading them to Dropbox. Well, I'm using my entrenching tool to dig trenches, to help set up tents, to chop wood,
and fight off bayonet
attacks.
Thank you for the how-to instructions. These are great.
Well, I just sent a couple of things, and there's a couple of little how-tos on how you use a folded entrenching tool to defend yourself against an attacker with a bayonet. And
because it will go exactly like this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
how many
goodness.
Honestly, though, how many times we train to do that, though? It's amazing that a lot of times, when I'm playing around with my kid, he'll have some tool or something like that and be charging after me, and I'll block it and defend it, and it's almost an instinctual kind of the same thing as what we've got going on here with these little tutorials for how to defend yourself against a bayonet attack. So I'm just saying that if things go horribly wrong within the office, I'm going to be the guy that's going to be getting myself out alive. Everybody else is going to be burning in some kind of crazy architectural firm gone crazy attack scenario, and I'm out the door.
And Cormac is loading up on the canned foods because he can open every one.
I've got canned foods. I've got tools. If you think about it, the 3 tools that I presented are the only 3 tools that I would need to basically survive, because I can use my entrenching tool to make a toilet. I can chop down wood and build myself a shelter.
Kill somebody with it, or kill an animal.
I could kill an animal, start a fire with, and cook with. I mean, the entrenching tool. What was funny about that is that I use
the entrenching tool.
That's
awesome. Double speak, man. I tell you. Total Orwellian there.
I used to use that as a bench. So you kind of flip the thing down, and you can sit, use it as a little bench. And again, I'll post those in the show notes. A nice little video. It's got 10 different ways that you can use the entrenching tool. And it was funny is this is just some little. It's a kid. I think he's a survivalist or something like that. But the interesting thing about it is that he actually has used it in almost every way that even the Army manual says this is how you use an entrenching tool. And the clips, the figures that I'm going to post in the show notes of how to defend yourself from a bayonet attack, it's I love it. I mean, only I would think of this. It's honestly
only you.
You guys are talking about how to use an iPad. Well, just think about it. If you guys attacked me with an iPad, dude, you're done. I'm taking my entrenching tool and taking you guys out.
Oh man.
But anyway, so
maybe I can blind you with my laser tool.
No,
I might have a chance.
Well, you could just pitch slap him.
I could. Oh, we've gone off the rails now.
Yes.
See, you asked for tools. I gave you tools. You guys did the whole practical thing, and we're getting out of the zombie apocalypse.
That's all.
Well, good for you. I'm glad you're surviving.
All right, so let's wrap this one up by first thanking our sponsor, Arcat. Check them out and all the features that they offer, and videos and specs and everything you need there. arcat.com, and they are Archispeak's favorite tool, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if you'd like to find some links to our catalog of episodes, check out the website, archispeakpodcast.com. There, you can also sign up for our newsletter that includes all the links to everything we talked about tonight, including some things you probably don't want. But
you mean like entrenching tools and can openers and leather mints?
Everybody needs that stuff.
The things that you need, yes. So sign up for the newsletter so you can get the notification for that and all of the links. You can also find those links in our show notes on the website. And between the episodes, please join us in our conversations about our most special tools by leaving the comments at archispeakpodcast.com or over on our Facebook page, or hit us up on Twitter with your favorite tools. All the links can be found by visiting the site at archispeakpodcast.com. And thanks everyone for listening.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You have to walk it, you can start now, or you can hang your head in despair. The only road will take you there. They may tell you that you'll never recover, baby. I've learned one thing or another about you. It's the only road to get you there. And if they don't know how to true like a tractor, a cracked actor, a mother of pearl. And if they don't know how to hold a woman, maybe you can put them back in their place. They could use a little bit of discipline and a hand across their face. Baby, let's pretend we're doing karate, and while we're at it, have the opposite day.